This is a glass laminate with silicon wafers inside the glass, and every panel is designed to replace 5 concrete tiles. Interest in ecology and you know the environmentally friendly technologies in California right now. The governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is obviously pushing that very hard, and you know that's great for the solar industry.
So what Gary gives us is the opportunity.
You have something that's going to last you 20 to 25 years, as Gary has said, and that gives back to the homeowner.
There are no batteries involved to store power. Essentially what happens is any power that's produced that the home doesn't use goes back out onto the grid and can be used by anybody, but it's actually stored up as a credit against the individual homeowner's electric account. It makes their meter spin backwards. In California right now, there is a pretty good rebate still, and this year we have seen locked in funding for solar electric systems for the next 10 years.
California leads the way on one of the most important issues that are facing our time, which is the fight against global warming.
Of the immigration legislation, and I think we wanted to have this meeting.
Now I'm going to speak today about the most media-hyped environmental issue of all time, and it's the word that gets everybody upset when you say it, and the word that many, or the phrase that many politicians are afraid to say, and that is global warming.
And I think we wanted to have this meeting today, this press
During the past year, the American people have been served up an unprecedented parade of environmental alarmism by the media.
And I think we wanted to have this meeting today, this press conference, to say that we think a huge step forward has been made today in the United States Senate. Here, Congressman Flake and Congressman Gutierrez, sponsors of the House version, the original version.
We have seen too much documentation to know that the world is getting warmer. We know that the ice shelves are melting, and for him to say otherwise just is like putting a bag over his head and not seeing it.
I am Al Gore. I used to be the next president of the United States.
In May, our nation was exposed to perhaps one of the slickest science propaganda films of all time, former Vice President Gore's An Inconvenient Truth.
Arctic is experiencing faster melting. If this were to go, sea level worldwide would go up 20 feet. This is what would happen in Florida.
Because if we listen carefully and clearly to what the scientific community of the entire world is saying, not just saying, they're shouting it now. They're saying, hey, wake up. We're facing a planetary emergency here. And we're not used to hearing phrases like that or encountering alarming messages like that. But we have to tear the mask away. Labeling this a political issue is just another way of saying it's insignificant. This is the most crucial challenge that any of us have ever faced, and it's happening in our lifetime.
American people know when their intelligence is being insulted, they know when they're being used, and when they're being duped by the hysterical left.
In the last few years, this administration isn't trying to be on both sides of the issue. They are clearly in the camp that said global warming is for real. They are clearly trying to deal with it.
Our fundamental view is that the world that lies ahead is highly likely to be different as compared to the world we see in the rearview mirror. And we're positioning ourselves in recognition of that. We've invested in global public equities, $500 million, looking to invest in the stocks of companies that are more environmentally responsible. We're using our governance tool to chide the auto companies to produce the car of the future.
Our government is wrong, but our people are right. The polling in California is huge. I would say in San Francisco, when they did their solar ordinance, they got 75-80% of the vote to say yes, we want to address climate change. The mayor's conference with all the cities signing up for ICLEI, the Sierra Club's Cool Cities campaign. We're finding cities across the country shifting.
We see more new turbines being developed and being installed throughout the country, not just here in the Altamont Pass. There's been a lot of growth throughout the Midwest, and we're seeing it happening all over the country. You know, it's a growing industry now.